welcome back. It's Stewart here. Another lucky to be alive day on Vancouver Island. We're here for another installment of I Can't Make This Shite Up with Ian McDowell. Let's see what we've got cooking today.
Tanks on, check.
Oh, look, all good in there today is my Hugh Hefner. That's the best he can best.
Yeah, it's like Rob Edwards and his smoking jackets.
Yeah,
that he never smokes in.
No. Yeah, I saw your horses today. I believe that was today.
Yes. When was that? Sunday.
Sunday. That was
Sunday.
wonderful.
We managed to get the fencing done on one side so that Mac could come out. We scanned the place for nails and just tried to make it a little safer because the reason he was in there for 3 weeks was getting a nail in his hoof. So.
Right, that's right.
And then it's basically day to day as to whether or not he's going to make it. So.
Well, that's right.
No, he's full of enough, like many of us Canadians, he's full of enough piss and vinegar that
He sure seemed like it. Yeah, I wouldn't want to ride that horse. The way he was bucking and bronking and
it's
bronking and bucking. Looks like his foot's okay for now, anyway.
For now, yeah.
Or hoof, I would say. Hoof. All right. So what's happening this week? Oh my God. Okay, first I got to start with good old Danielle Smith.
Oh yes.
Wonderful lady, Premier of Alberta.
The lovely trip to Florida, I guess.
Yes. To go on a podcast with some MAGA hat. Dude. It's somewhat of, to me, as like a traitor. That to me is a traitor. I think she's coming in between all the provinces coming together to fight this guy.
It's starting to look like that, and I am all for all the provinces getting together and opening trade and all of that. And hey, if you're going to take it upon yourself to go and do business trips to the States to make business that's in the country's interests, yes. If it's in Alberta's interests, well, okay, but how does that affect the rest of the country politically?
Right.
That's where we have a problem with it.
Part of my point on that was how will it affect the rest of us, and how will that open up a channel for Mr. Trump to just, okay, that's the first one. Now I've got, 9 more provinces and a territory or two to go.
If I'm flying from Vancouver to Toronto, I don't want to have to go over Alberta, God forbid. God forbid we're in Alberta airspace if it ever came to that. But I'm not going to put that energy. I'm not going to put that energy out there.
Yeah, I did notice something very interesting. A different perspective of looking at the world, like looking at it from the top down, from the North Pole down. Greenland is vast, and Greenland.
Oh, absolutely.
I can see why it's so essential militarily for the United States.
To be fair,
Russia, and well, even us, Canada. But I see that. I don't think it's all about minerals, because they tried mining back in the 80s in Greenland, and Greenland's not green. It's ice.
Yeah.
It's bitter. It's a horrible climate. So that didn't go well. The minerals are there, but they're just, the cost of getting them out is ridiculous. So it's not about the minerals by any means.
Well, and this is not my personal opinion, but hey, if we can put a drone on Mars, why can't we put a drone in a mining environment? Why do we have to freeze people?
True enough. Yeah.
Or conversely, which is more my opinion, let's not rip up the earth any more than we have to, or than we should.
Yeah. Yeah. True enough, but that's not Trump's mandate. He's slashed all thing. It's just,
no, this is it.
But
he doesn't
cut it, burn it, pave it.
I don't even think he owns his own computer, because he's worried about the physical boundaries, but what about the big bad internet, which could very well be the source of any kind of war in the future? How are we getting information around? Are we attacking banking systems? What's vulnerable? Is it really Greenland? Unless we're short of ice for, trying to keep their nasty beer cold. Who knows?
That's deeper. I don't know. That's just one other thing. Just what else is going on here? Oh, yeah,
Uh,
saw a little thing of JD Vance at a rifle range,
oh, I'm
all
sorry to hear that.
camoed out, looking like the soldier of fortune for America. They said this quote unquote White House spreading freedom seeds down the range. Yeah, freedom seeds. Now to me, once again, my jaw dropped open.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe I actually saw it on television Saturday night on a pretty funny show. And but that's what's going on. So that's in Greenland. He was up there at the air base where they were not welcome
yeah,
to go and see the dog race
yeah.
or
The blue press wants us to think that they got chased out of there. I'm sure.
nah.
I'm sure the Danes were a little more polite than that, from what I know of the Danish people. And I was fortunate to work with them for
Yeah, you're
a
right.
couple of
You're right.
years.
I don't know, but they definitely weren't as welcome as once thought.
Yeah,
Just probably due to Mr. Donald. A big by-election day in the state today, Wisconsin and in Florida. I'm a bit confused. Some are for federal judges and one is for an actual seat in Congress. Looks like the blue might actually win this one in Florida, which is amazing.
interesting.
And we'll see what goes on with in
We'll see how
Wisconsin.
we'll
Musk
see
was
how.
in.
Yes, we'll
Sort of,
see how the selective hearing works in the Oval Office.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. And
So
then there's Musk was down in where Wisconsin, little cheesehead hat on at a rally,
perfect.
giving out millions of dollars to people to vote again. It's
I don't get it.
interesting.
I've
I
I've
don't
met
either.
I've very sadly I've only met a few people from Wisconsin, but I have never had a bad experience with any of them. They're the most happy-go-lucky, positive people that I've ever met, and they're so much about family and about their fellow man. It's
Yeah,
hard to
it's
believe
cool.
there could be any bad people in Wisconsin.
No, well, I don't think it's not them, but it's well, there are maggots. There are maggots everywhere, and as far as I'm concerned, that's not a good thing for democracy. But that's my opinion. Um, now tomorrow is a tariff day. What are your thoughts on that, my friend?
Well, considering my gear budget for the year has been depleted, I'm not too worried about buying American guitars. I've probably got enough of them right now.
You
Mostly
think?
used, by the way.
I know.
We're recyclers over here.
Yeah, true that.
Nobody knows. You can speculate all you want. I think this is the Band-Aid that's going to just have to get ripped off. And in a few days, when the smoke clears, I can't say everything will go back to normal, but there's got to be, I think there's got to be some chaos and some implosion before something happens where there's some kind of intervention. There's got to be a collapse in the system that's going on down there because and I mean I've been seeing these little things popping up about planned marches for a bit later in April.
Yeah, there's one coming up Saturday as well.
And this one map has a million red dots in various cities where these marchers are being planned. Well, you can march all you want, but until you physically shut down the system, the chaos is going to continue.
Yeah.
So, and anyone who knows me knows that this is probably my first foray into being attentive politically, I think. I mean, I'm always aware of the candidates and I'm always trying to do research when it comes time to vote, but there are people that are not political mongers like myself all of a sudden
No,
saying, what is going on here? Like, come
I
on.
know. Yeah, well,
Normal people that aren't, red, blue, they're not constantly talking politics are suddenly talking politics. My
no,
partner as well. She's normally into New Age and metaphysical podcasts, if you will, and that kind of thing while she's working, doing her bookkeeping. But now she's very hyper aware of what's going on in the system and trying to find these sources and listening to what other people have to say about it. So
Yeah, I think right now we have to be if we care.
yeah,
Um,
we had a conversation yesterday about self-sufficiency. You know,
uh,
what are we going to do when it all goes down? And what do we got in the fridge? You know, oh, the
and
electricity's going to,
you
let's,
you might want to stock some seeds. You have land to grow,
true,
and
true. We're
you're in
good.
probably a better situation than someone like myself in a
We're,
condo.
we're good there.
But yeah,
And
what's in the fridge?
we'll drone some
I,
over to you. How hard could it
oh,
be?
thank you. That'd be perfect.
We'll drone you some
Some
fresh
carrots,
vegetables. Yeah.
something for an Irish stew. That'd be nice.
But yeah, I mean, we had a couple of instances where the power was out last year and it wakes you up. You know, like there's nothing, no internet, no nothing. So
Yeah,
we got a generator ready to go.
good, good,
So
good.
we could sort of keep going. Lisa's friend and coworker is completely solar in her RV where she works. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, I know some people have gone that route, and then they're it's not attractive looking on their property, I must say, but
well, certainly not in
or on the roofs
Oak
of their
Bay. And
houses in a neighborhood, it's not attractive.
yeah, just
But they are
look up Oak.
self-sufficient, you know,
Yes, yeah.
and
So
they don't even pay a hydro bill. Like
it's
that's the way it
an
is.
it's a necessary evil. I remember in the very early 90s going to the Spring Festival of Awareness in the
Oh,
Okanagan, basically a granola love fest with lots of tie-dyed shirts and all that. And there was one
yeah.
guy who was kind of off of the, off the beaten path, and he was saying, prepare for impending doom, and you need guns, you need cash, you need gasoline, you need cigarettes, and you need booze. You get these commodities together. You can trade, and this is before the Mad Max movie came
Movies.
out.
Yeah.
So anyway, and we're all laughing at this guy, and a couple of us went to this seminar anyway, and then we turned around, and later in the day we're making beads, necklaces and stuff next to a bunch of hippies. It's just a
One of
really
those.
interesting time, early 90s. So,
Wow.
it's never not been, and it's never going away. It's just,
Yeah.
are you in tune with what's happening?
Yeah. So we're buying Canadian when we're buying Canadian. Um, I notice when I go shopping now, it's very clearly marked in the liquor stores. I know you don't go there much at all, anytime.
Not anymore.
Um, it's amazing. They've all the American liquors off the shelves. Um,
Yes, they have.
I think it's actually starting to hurt them where they don't want it to hurt. And I feel in a way I feel sorry for people that have jobs and they're losing their businesses.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
but if your big fella's gonna threaten us, then we're gonna react to it. And that's bottom line. He makes threats. He's terrible. He just blabs and
Yeah,
out it
well,
comes. And then he won't go back
Sandbox.
and say, no, I didn't mean that. He'll just make it worse by
Yeah.
saying it again.
Going back
It's
to what I alluded on the last long version
oh yeah,
podcast, I guess we can call it now.
yeah,
I was talking about what the heck was it? Sandbox politics in a way. If you're going to come at me physically, fight or flight. I'm either going to run further north or somewhere where
yeah,
you are not, or I'm going to stand up and I'm going to put my foot down and I'm going to hold my ground,
that's right.
do or die or death. So, we can on paper threaten each other all you want, but until there's some physical, tangible thing that's going to happen, like pulling product off the shelf and not selling it.
Yes, yeah,
And it's one thing for a business of 4 or 5 people running a store to make those concessions, but if the general public supports that, well, you sort of have to go with that, or you're not going to sell anything. So if the public says, no, we're not buying American, might as well take it off the shelves. We'll put it in boxes.
yeah, yeah.
So there's a little bit of push pull with what the public is willing to do, and you'll hear this all the time. The public has power; they just have to unite in some way.
I think in a way, this is really making a difference to a lot of companies down in the States that rely on selling their product here in Canada. So, um, fair enough. But like you say, you push You push us, we're going to push back now. We're going to put it, we're going to
I,
stake our
th- I
ground and go,
think
no,
I
we're
think
done.
any I think anybody would. We want to live in a society where we can, apologize for bumping into somebody. We
Sure
want
enough.
we want to we want to be polite, but don't mess with our livelihoods. And
Yeah, I agree with that. Agree with that. No. I noticed that Point Roberts is a ghost town now. They've, all their grocery stores, but used to flourish on weekends or even during the week.
oh yeah,
Canadians heading over. Well,
yeah.
30% on the dollar is not helping at all. That never helps. But they don't know what to do now. They're just like, what do we do? Canadians are not coming across the
Yeah.
border, and I personally don't blame them. If they looked at my phone, Stuart, I'd have the black bag over my head and off I'd go. I swear to
Right,
God.
right.
But
And we're
that's
start
because I'm very political that way. That
Yeah, and we're starting to see stories like that, and it's almost arbitrary. You
Mhm.
know,
I mean, I'm sure it's always happened, but I think now
yeah.
the
If you're
spotlight's on,
if you
right?
happen to have the wrong material wrapped around your head, or you're the wrong color going
Right,
into a country, you're
right.
immediately suspected, and it's ridiculous.
It's quite
You
funny
know.
back in the early '80s when I tried to travel to the States. My passport said I was Canadian, but I was born in Ireland. So they thought I was a terrorist. And I'd get
Oh,
questioned, I'd get pulled aside, and I'd
probably
get questioned
because
as an IRA terrorist.
IRA, hot on the heels of the
At the
Irish conflict.
time, who were the most hated terrorists in the world? It was the Northern Irish IRA. And that it was no word of a lie. I'd go to fly to Hawaii with my wife, and I'd be shoot, off I'd go into this little room. They'd search all my stuff. It's like, God.
Sing when
And they,
Irish eyes are smiling. Now,
yeah, I don't know
prove
that
your
one. Okay,
identity.
let him go then. Okay, we'll put a pint of beer in front of
Yeah,
him. If he finishes it within 8 seconds,
there you
he's
go.
definitely Irish and he's a terrorist.
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. McDowell, your blood has tested positive for Guinness.
Yeah,
How do you
of
explain this?
course. Oh man, yeah. What else is going on? Oh, this the poor stock market and people trying to invest or people losing their shirts, their nest eggs. Speaking of hurting people again, it just goes on and on. Um, a lot of people have lost a lot of money. A lot of the millionaires are going, guess what? I think I'll buy all that stock at pennies. It's still happening. I don't follow the market much. I don't really understand it, but I don't think it's a good thing if it
No.
tanks.
And I think, and this is coming from an armchair, I'm not a stock market
No,
person,
ditto,
but
ditto.
I've got my eye on it, thinking of, you know, there's 2008, thinking of stock market crash. What was it,
Hmm.
1929?
Big time.
It's big enough news that you got to be, as a citizen, you got to be aware of these things.
Yeah,
I think about it in terms of 1970s music business. You had an artist that you believed in, and you put some money into them, and you nurtured them, and by album three, they're starting to make a little bit of money. You played the long game with your artist, and now it's, where's the money? Now the
yeah.
record label finds the people with the big list of TikTok followers, and then tries to figure out how to, oh, we'll take you to the next level. No, they want to find somebody making money so that they can make more money. So what
I
I
I
think is
agree.
sort of happening in stocks, well, let's crash these stocks. They'll be down for 4 or 5 days. We'll buy it all cheap.
Right.
What happens? So, I mean,
Yeah.
not a stock guy, and even I can see that pattern.
No kidding. Well, I got something else totally, nothing to do with politics, but
Oh,
I think
thank God.
we both know Darby Mills quite well from the Headpins, or she's not in from the Headpins, not anymore. Um,
The
she's
artist formerly known as.
pretty much. It's unfortunate that I, I I kind of got her story of what happened to her, and it was a very unfortunate story. And the guys in the band were, I'd say, almost cruel to her for what they did, but they were
If
making money.
Brian McLeod were still alive, that probably wouldn't have
That
happened
would
quite that
not
way.
have happened.
No.
No, I think it was Bernie Aubin that really
Yep,
poked her
yep,
in the rear
yep.
with the pitchfork, basically. But
Dang.
she's gone, and I guess you auditioned. She's auditioning on Canada's Got Talent. So we're like,
A
whoa,
horse race?
okay.
I've
No,
never
no.
made it. I've never made it that public, but I really don't like those shows
I know, but
because the
she's
person that
actually
the
like
fir- does that mean the person that finished fourth doesn't have as much talent as the person that finished first?
no, it's the opposite
No,
of anything
I
I've noticed.
if you
But
looked at my
it's just
record collect.
interesting that she's doing it. The show airs tonight if you have it on
Oh,
telly.
now is she coaching or participating?
She's participating
Wow.
she's auditioning, and she can't say a word about what happened to her. We
Of
don't even know if
course.
she's on tonight or if she got
Oh,
on
I
at
see.
all.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, that's the thing. But she did mention that she went there on her own dime. Like they don't pay for you to go to Toronto and whatnot. But I'm just
What
wondering if she brought her band with her. It's because her
what's
band's really good. The
that
Dougie
sounds like
Millstar.
to her, and I should not speak for her, but if I were her, what a great gag in the sense that let's just, do this to ageism, first of all. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And say it doesn't matter where I'm at in my career, I've still got something here. And have
absolutely,
something that I want to share with people.
absolutely.
So
I
I'm
think
I'm
that's her
certainly
whole
hoping
point.
she peels the paint off the walls once again.
Yeah, some people didn't respond very well to her doing this. It was quite nasty,
Why not?
but there's always people like that no matter what you do.
Oh
But
yeah.
I'm personally, I really hope she makes it through to
Yeah.
the next round. I really hope she gets a golden buzzer or whatever those things are where they get moved on to the finals. Those things.
There's
I
going to be
really hope she does well. There,
there's going to be
we
some
what?
pundits saying, "Wait, they're old
Yeah,
enough to be able to say, wait a minute, she had a
yeah,
record contract."
yeah,
Yeah, God bless Solid Gold Records, the
yeah.
label of one of my favorite bands,
Yeah.
Toronto.
Well, the thing is, a lot of I love Toronto. They're amazing. Hollywood's, yeah. The thing all these acts are professional acts. Do you think these people doing all this circus high wire stuff and they're professionals?
They would have to
So
be
what's the
to be
difference?
operate at that
Yeah, what's
level.
the difference to get to that point? And the odd singer comes up like the janitor from, blah, blah, blah school, high school, and blows everybody away. That happens, right? That is. But you
Maybe
can't
that,
have 37 janitors auditioning, all singing. You gotta have some
well,
variety. Okay.
when the big bands started to lose work, maybe they all worked at the same school, cleaning floors, but that's hilarious.
It's different. So that's about all I got this week, my friend.
Well, Ian, it's always great to talk to you, and
Yeah.
to be continued. Keep it coming.
Okay.
Shamefully, I didn't get a good look at the news today. I think I'd wanted to enjoy my coffee with a peaceful mind first.
Of course. Yeah, no, that's good. There's not, it basically covered it. I mean, Kid Rock was in the White House dressed as a clown in a clown suit from a circus, uh, with Trump signing an executive. Now, this is actually a thing, signing an executive order that scalpers and bots cannot buy up Ticketmaster tickets and raise the price 100% or 200 or 400% and
Uh,
resell.
well, that's
That's actually
great.
a good thing.
That's
That's
great
actually,
and everything,
yeah.
but uh,
Is it going to
I
happen?
think I think we're going to end up with Trumpet Master.
Trumpet master. Yeah, yeah,
You
true
know,
enough.
if there's money to be made, there's got to be some back channel way that he's going to get into that
He's going to
system.
get into
You
it.
know, Ticketmaster has had such a racket for so long.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. How could this all be good? Wait a minute. There must be some evil in here somehow. There must be.
Well, and it could be a bit of posturing for some kind of positivity. He's got to know somebody's got to be advising Trump that the world hates him right now in general.
Yeah,
So maybe he can get some artists on his side.
Kid Rock's one.
I
He
don't know.
loved him. Ted Nugent's another.
I remember
I boycotted it.
Neil Young saying, "I didn't authorize you to use this music in your
It's true.
inauguration or whatever it was." And yeah.
Tried to sue him or something, but that didn't go far. Okay. All right, sir.
All right, man.
get on with our days and
Yeah,
enjoy your farm. And
enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to feed the fish.
right, and thank you. Yes, I'll make sure they're fine today. And start growing some vegetables, sir, and lots of them.
Certainly, vegetables
Okay.
for all.
Okay, and love to your Lisa.
Absolutely.
Your partner.
Say hi to Carolyn.
You bet. Take care.
Take care.
Bye, bud.
Thank you, Ian, so much for your insights. Get the thumbs up in the air and subscribe to the channel. Go Canada.